Imagine this: the lights dim at federal agencies across the United States. Thousands of workers are sent home, contracts are stalled, payments are paused, and uncertainty ripples through every industry and business tied to Washington, D.C. It's called a government shutdown, and whether you're a business leader, entrepreneur, or government contractor, the ripple effects can either break you or set you up for your biggest wave. Government shutdowns aren't new. They happen when Congress can't agree on a budget. And remember, Congress hasn't approved a real budget since 1997. The result? Well, federal agencies close their doors, employees get furloughed, and contractors wait in limbo. Now, here's the twist. For most people, shutdowns sound like all downside. But if you study what happened during the 2018 to 2019 shutdown, the longest in U.S. history, the story is very different. During the 35-day shutdown of 2018 to 2019, the federal government ground to a halt. Nearly 800,000 federal employees found themselves either locked out of their jobs or working without paychecks. Imagine trying to run an economy, much less a government, where the people who issue contracts, manage grants, and keep government programs running are suddenly sidelined. The Congressional Budget Office later calculated the toll: an $11 billion hit to GDP, about $3 billion permanently gone, wiped from the economy, never to return. Over $18 billion in discretionary spending were delayed. It was the longest shutdown in U.S. history, and on the surface, it looked devastating. Families scrambled, agencies stalled, and contractors braced for impact. Well, but here's the twist: the hidden side of the story that didn't make the headlines. When the shutdown ended, the federal government didn't just restart, it hit the gas pedal. Agencies had a mountain of delayed projects and procurement backlogs to clear. The result: a surge in spending like a dam breaking open. In 2019, federal contract spending rocketed to $597 billion, a 6.5% jump from 2018, making it the fourth straight year of growth. Even more striking, the federal R&D budget leapt 10%, the biggest increase since 2009. And it didn't stop there. By 2023, federal contracting climbed past $770 billion. Defense, Commerce, HUD, and GSA led the charge, with massive awards going to multiple different companies. Here's the key lesson: the businesses that positioned themselves during the downtime, the ones who kept proposals ready, nurtured relationships with contracting officers and program managers, and invested in resilience, they didn't just recover, they thrived. While others sat frozen in fear, these players rode the surge and came out stronger than before. Shutdowns, as painful as they feel in the moment, often create a slingshot effect for those prepared to act. Now, let's pull back the curtain on the workforce side, because this is where the real opportunity hides for contractors. Every time a federal workforce shrinks, the contractor workforce expands. It's a historical pattern. For every one federal employee cut, about 2.5 to 3 contractor jobs emerge to fill that gap. Why? Because the work doesn't just disappear. Agencies still need IT systems maintained, cybersecurity monitored, facilities managed, and professional services delivered. When they can't staff internally, they outsource. And here's the kicker: outsourcing often costs more overall, thanks to contractor overhead and profit margins. But agencies accept the trade off because continuity is non negotiable. And let's put this in perspective. Back in 2015, the blended federal workforce looked like this: about 2 million federal employees, about 22% of the total workforce, 3.7 million contractors, about 41%. And then you had 1.6 million grant employees, coming out to 18%. Altogether, 9.1 million strong workforce, with contractors making up the single largest share. And when federal employment dipped, for example, after the Clinton era cuts of 400,000 federal positions in the 1990s, contractor jobs surged to absorb the workload. The ratio has held steady ever since. For every federal job eliminated, 2 to 3 contractor jobs spring up. So what does that mean for you as a business leader or government contractor? It means shutdowns aren't just shift dollars, they shift people. They reset the balance between federal employees and contractors. And if you're positioned in the right sectors, think IT services, cybersecurity, professional services, facilities management, you're in the perfect spot to capture that demand. Think about it this way: every furlough slip on the federal side is a potential opportunity slip for the contracting community. And when Washington sneezes, the states don't always catch a cold. That's the surprising truth about shutdowns. While the federal government grinds to a halt, state and local governments keep moving. Their budgets run on completely different cycles, powered by tax revenues, bonds, and legislative calendars that don't hinge on Capitol Hill drama. During the 2018 to 2019 shutdown, state spending across the United States barely budged. Schools stayed open, roads were maintained, police, fire, public health, all these agencies kept on delivering services. Sure, there were some disruptions, delayed grants, some programs slowed down because federal partners weren't at the table, but overall, state and local governments didn't slam the brakes like DC did at all. So, how do you actually prepare to win after a government shutdown? Here are three moves. Stay proposal ready. Agencies will play catch up the moment they reopen. Be first in line when solicitations drop. Diversify into SLED. You should have been doing that previously, but now you definitely need to do it. Hedge your risks. State and local demand doesn't stop, and it often spikes when federal programs pause. Track workforce shifts, and federal positions get cut. Contractors step in. Remember, if federal positions get cut, contractors step in. If federal employees get hired, more government contractors get hired. So position yourself to offer continuity across the board. Shutdowns aren't just disruptions, they're resets, and in resets, the prepared rise. So here's the big takeaway. Don't just fear a government shutdown. Study it, anticipate it, position yourself to capitalize on the rebound. History shows us that after every shutdown comes a surge, and those who prepare, especially those who look beyond Washington into state, local, and education contracting opportunities, they're not just survivors, they're the new leaders. If you're a business leader or a government contractor ready to turn shutdown chaos into long-term opportunity, this is your moment. I hope you like this. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share this with your team, and let's make sure you're not just bracing for the shutdown, you're building your breakthrough. Stay tuned for the next.